Imagine someone stealing your identity, taking your title, your future, and your life, and everyone believes them. Tonight, on A Veil of Crime, we uncover one of the most disturbing crimes hidden inside a Grimm fairy tale, the Goose Girl. In the Grimm version, a young princess is sent across the kingdom to marry a prince that she has never met. With her travels a servant, someone meant to protect her. But long before they reach the castle, the power dynamic changes. During the journey, the servant begins to challenge the princess's authority. She refuses orders, she mocks her, and she pushes boundaries. Then, in a moment that changes everything, the servant threatens the princess's life. Alone, far from home, the princess is forced to obey. The servant demands the princess exchange clothes with her. Royal garments for servant rags. From that moment forward, the servant claims the identity of the princess, and the real princess, she says nothing. The princess has a horse named Falada. The animal had traveled with her since childhood, and in folklore, loyal animals often symbolize truth. The servant knows this, so she orders the horse killed. The head is mounted above the city gate, where the disguised princess must pass every day. Each morning, as she walks beneath it to herd geese, she speaks quietly to the horse. And in the Grimm story, the horse answers, not through magic meant to entertain, but as a symbol of something people understood well, truth trying to speak, even when no one wants to hear it. At its core, the Goose Girl reflects real social fears from medieval Europe. Long journeys between kingdoms were dangerous. Noble brides were often escorted by servants, guards, or attendants, people who suddenly had enormous power far from oversight. Historical records describe servants betraying masters, identity deception in travel, marriage alliances manipulated for status, and people disappearing or being replaced along the road. In a world without photographs, documents, or identification systems, identity could be fragile. If the wrong person arrived at the castle claiming to be someone else, how would anyone know? At the castle, the false princess is welcomed with celebration, and the real princess? She is assigned to tend geese in the fields, stripped of her identity, her voice, and her place in the world. But the king begins to notice something strange. The Goose Girl carries herself like someone of noble birth. Her speech is careful, her grief is visible. Eventually, the king hides nearby and listens as she speaks to the mounted horsehead. Piece by piece, the truth emerges. Rather than excuse the false bride immediately, the king does something unexpected. He asks her a question. What punishment, he says, should be given to someone who betrayed their queen, stole her place, and committed such deception? Confident she will never be discovered, the woman answers. Such a criminal deserves to be placed in a barrel lined with nails and dragged through the streets. The king pauses. Then he reveals the truth. You have spoken your own sentence. The Goose Girl was not a children's fantasy. It was a warning about betrayal by those closest to you, the fragility of identity, and the dangers of unchecked power during travel and marriage alliances. In a time when status meant survival, losing your name could mean losing everything. Stories like this preserved a truth people understood well. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy is the one walking beside you. Like the Pied Piper, the robber bridegroom, the juniper tree, Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Cinderella, and Bluebeard. This tale survived because the crime behind it was recognizable. Not mythical, not impossible, recognizable. Fairy tales were often compressed crime histories, stories shaped by fear, memory, and survival. If you want more historically grounded crimes hidden inside fairy tales, folklore, and forgotten history, subscribe to A Veil of Crime. This is part of the Grimm fairy tale crime series, where stories were never meant to be comfort. They were meant to warn. If you'd like to support the channel and help keep these stories researched, written, and told, you can support A Veil of Crime through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is on the channel. Every bit helps keep these forgotten stories alive. In the end, the servant lost the life she'd tried to steal, and the princess regained something even more important than a crown, her name. Thank you for watching A Veil of Crime.